Welcome back, friends. We've got the third and final match of the day coming up here. Elimination on the line. Wild Witch Doctors versus Team Dignotoss. Merlini, thoughts coming into Game 3? What do these teams need to do to avoid elimination?
Ban Ember Spirit, firstly, by Wild Witch Doctors. They didn't really seem to know how to play against it after the early game. Secondly, I think they need to draft a different carry, too, besides Morphling, because Morphling is trash.
Oh, shots fired.
And then what else do they need to do?
Morphling fans.
They also just need to make better macro decisions. Like, okay, we have a Morphling that can't fight. Let's not push. Or they like Spectre can actually fight, right? He can just on into the fight. So they can pick Spectre if they want to do something like that. But also, I think that's about it. I don't know.
That's about it. Those are some pretty big things that they need to change up here for Game 3. So
IX Mike needs to have a bigger impact.
Bigger impact, yeah.
He had a pretty big impact in Game 1, not Game 2.
He usually has a more impactful Nyx Assassin than that, but he was looking for opportunities. He just
that was a
sad
sad Nyx Assassin.
It really was. 0-6. 0-6-6 at like the 30-minute mark. Yeah, that's not what Nyx wants to be doing. So, all right, guys, this is it. Our final match of the day. We'll see who's going home. The winner of this faces off against Team Osiris in the Losers Bracket Finals. So we're getting to the end of the America qualifiers, and let's hop straight into our draft here. So Wild Witch Doctors had the luxury of first pick coming into game number 3, and they grabbed themselves the Nature's Prophet. They did take heed to your advice here, Merlini. They ban out the Ember Spirit as well as Doom. Dignotoss sticking to their guns as well, banning out the Marana and the Invoker. Now, we see some interesting picks. Nyx Assassin and Visage on Dignotoss, a fairly standard opener, some great flex picks. But the Naga Siren on Radiant.
Have fun with that one. They're going to do the Radiance push.
Yeah?
I've seen it. I played against it. And that's what they like to do. Nature's Prophet plus Naga Siren. And I think IX Mike is better on Nature's Prophet than Nyx Assassin too. He's just, I don't know. He seems to be better about the not the playmakers, the reactionary playmakers.
Okay. Yeah, that's okay. That's a good way to look at it. He has been playing a bit more Nature's Prophet, though we have seen him on Nyx. Nyx has been banned out a little bit more frequently, I think.
Yeah, Nature's Prophet I think is just a much better hero than Nyx though.
Yeah. So seeing a Naga second picked, especially on Radiant, it's pretty safe to assume she's going to be going the Radiant, solo mid Naga, that kind of, maybe not even solo
could be
mid.
safe lane.
Could be safe lane, very true. But the Radiance Naga, not a regular old support Naga, what do you want to draft to try and deal with that?
You can either draft a very aggressive lineup or a very pushy lineup. Either or works.
So put pressure on Naga before she gets the Radiance, or knock down all their towers so you get a huge item edge.
It's not only to get a huge item edge, it's to limit her space to farm.
Okay, yeah.
So she's forced to like come to defend the D2s because you don't want to lose your T2s that early. So because she doesn't have anywhere to farm, she's really just has to defend and just run around with her team, and you really don't want her in that position. So you need a lineup that can also be very aggressive. I think Nyx Assassin is a good not necessarily like a good counter versus it, but it's a good work towards a good play style towards shutting her down.
Yeah.
Naga Siren like Radiance is so hard to counter though. Like it's just incredibly difficult. But Dignotoss has been known to run very pushy lineups though. So they Wild Witch Doctors will ban out Death Prophet, which I think is a smart ban. Yeah.
Well, Nature's Prophet into a Nyx Assassin. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. They can warrant a first ban Nyx, but both Doom and Ember Spirit are very scary heroes. And I guess Doom does work pretty well to try and put pressure on Naga. He'll hit
Doom's
level
pretty
6
good.
much before she has the Radiant, so if you can focus the ulti towards her, well, hopefully you can secure a kill with that.
Hopefully.
So all smart bans from the Wild Witch Doctors, I think. Bane as well as Puck banned out by Dignotoss, and here we go. Pugna, their third choice, so you can't get Death Prophet, get the next best intellect pusher.
They should have banned Pugna instead of OD, because that's like one of the biggest things they're scared about when they pick a Naga Siren early, is push.
Yeah. And that is something Pugna does quite well. Kind of curious how they're going to build this team around Naga, though. They need some space creators, that's for sure.
Nature's Prophet and Naga Siren is already a very, very greedy draft. And Dignotoss, they ran push lineups in the best of 1 days as well as the second round that they played too. So I am very surprised that Wild Witch Doctors did not see that coming.
Yeah. Ancient Apparition, their third choice. One thing that AA does very well is repel pushes. Anytime your opposition are clumped up, that generally makes for easier ultimates. The Ice Blast.
You know what hero we haven't seen at all? Clockwork.
That's
Clockwork
true.
it was all about Clockwork yesterday.
Well, not just yesterday. Every other day throughout this tournament, it's been all about Clockwork. Banned or picked, I think, in every single game. Yeah, no
Clockwork's
Clockwork.
ownage.
He's just been ignored. It's interesting. And here we've got Nature's Prophet and Nyx both playing the same role as the Clock. So
I think he would probably dissect this Wild Woodchocker's lineup, though.
yeah. Well, I guess they could. Well, now that they have Storm, I was thinking you can always put Nyx Assassin mid. That's always a fallback. But now it's looking like Clockwork won't be an option. Storm Spirit, I suppose they still could if they really wanted to run Clockwork. But you could offlane the Nyx and
Or they could go for more push. Like,
yeah.
who would be more push for them?
Stormworks.
Dazzle.
Dazzle, there you go. Storm works pretty well against this Naga strategy, though, because he'll be zipping around and he can put some pressure on her before she gets the Radiance up.
Lone Druid's pretty good, too. Lone Druid would just push the crap out of them. Lone Druid off lane with Storm Spirit mid, Pugna in the safe lane, babysat by those two supports. That tower is going to go down fast. But we'll see.
Yeah, that could be an option. Now, Wild Witch Doctors, their 4th pick. They'll have plenty of time to think about it. Dignotoss have thought long and hard about this draft. They actually burned most of their reserve time.
I think they might go for the Earthshaker. Earthshaker is
the Earthshaker AA combo
pretty good.
Basically the best support duo you can get for anti-push, I think.
Yeah, and there's no way they're going to offensive try into that. It's a very difficult lane to try lane against.
Yeah.
Especially with a Nature Prophet. So, like, you're just asking to die.
Yeah, that's true.
What other support would be pretty good here? You don't want to go like someone too heavy intel, like a Lion. I think would get destroyed by Pugna, although he's very good against Storm Spirit. Same with a Shadow Shaman. So those two, I would say, were out of the picture. But Lion gets crapped on by Pugna like so hard. It's pretty ridiculous how much that Netherward owns it.
Yeah, because Lion is such a big spellcaster.
It's not the worst thing in the world though. As long as they do have disables for Storm Spirit though, so I can definitely see why they would pick Lion.
Right.
It's not a terrible pick. It's just
they needed something with a lot of control. AA does virtually nothing to deal with Storm. Nature's Prophet, same story. Naga has the ensnare, but still not too much. I can understand the thought process.
The TA ban. That's interesting. TA we haven't seen often, but I think it actually would work well for Wild Witchtalkers. It's a space creator that they need.
Yeah.
And it's also minus armor too with Naga Siren, and yeah, it just would have been pretty good. Like they don't really have that many multiple instances of damage either, so they can't take the refract off quickly.
Veno, the final ban from Wild Witch Doctors, another great support that synergizes well with pushing lineups.
Wild Witch Doctors could just do the ultimate like turtle and just go Tinker again. Oh my goodness.
God.
With Tinker and AA and Naga Siren, you're never going to be able to push.
There's no pushing into that. And you'll be able to create enough space that Naga should be able to eventually get a Radiance and just overtake your
I would position. I would like to see them go like a four fighter lineup though. Like a puck.
The problem with this Dignitas roster right now is they have some push, but this isn't a crazy all-in pushing start. I mean, maybe they'll grab Rasta here. So this is one of those, they have themselves on a timer where they're definitely not going to win the late game against Naga, depending on what they use. I mean, if they pick Spectre here, maybe they'll have a carry that can at least tango, but they're putting themselves on this timer where they have to push, but they don't have the best pushing lineup.
Right, I would have really liked to see like a Shadow Shaman mid from them, as well as a Lone Druid, and then just push the crap out of Naga Siren. Looks like they'll try a different take, though, with the Slark. I actually think Wild Witch Doctor's lineup is very well equipped to deal with the Slark. They have Naga Siren Sleep, which can waste his Shadow Dance. They also have ways to keep him in place, and he can't just like stand in cold feet. He also can't like just get owned by all this AoE coming out. They have like the Impale, they have the Finger, they have the Hex, they have the Riptide.
And Ancient Apparition is regarded as a little bit of a soft carry against Slark to deal with his massive regen. Of course, when Ice Blast is on, your regeneration is nullified, so I don't know. I don't love it.
I don't like the Slark.
I don't love it, yeah. I think, I agree. I think a Shadow Shaman Lone Druid would have been much more potent and have that just absurd pushing strat, maybe get Necro Books, go all in, and just cripple them before Naga can get Radiance.
That's a strategy I would like to see.
Yeah, they have this hybrid. It's sort of like I'll use the reference again. They're a druid in vanilla World of Warcraft, jack of all trades, but you suck at everything. You do everything okay, but I mean they have okay push. They have sort of okay late game, but not really.
I think their late game is actually the weakest of all their.
Yeah, I mean even their early game is okay. Their mid game is pretty strong, but yeah, Juggernaut's an interesting choice here.
It's a Naga mid, Juggernaut carry, Furion off, AA Lion, babysit the Juggernaut. So this is cool. This means it's a safe lane tri lane most likely, but it's also an aggressive safe lane tri lane. They can actually get kills. Like Naga Siren, you generally can't get kills until she's like level 3 maybe. It's especially with like someone like AA and Lion who don't really do that much damage at level 1. If you go Chilling Touch, then you can't really lock them in place. So Yeah, this is actually pretty cool. I like Wild Witch Doctor draft more than Dignotoss though, for sure.
Yeah.
The Storm Spirit is like, it's like, okay, it works well with everybody except the Pugna, but they picked the Pugna third. So, like, if you pick Pugna, go push. If you don't pick Pugna, then don't push. It's as simple as that.
Yes. And, well, interestingly enough, DNT will do a 5-man smoke to get things started up here at the top lane.
Their 5-man's not that great.
Well, they're off to some early trickery here. Yeah, they've got a stun from Nyx. And they'll have a Nether Blast, I suppose. Yeah, not the best level 1. I mean, they only have one stun. Slark can.
They have pounce. They don't have
leash.
damage though. That's the problem. Like Pugna Blast is okay, and like Remnant is like mediocre, but they don't have damage. Nothing like Blade Fury. Nothing like Chilling Touch. Those do a lot of damage at level 1.
Yeah.
And Riptide. Riptide also does a ton of damage at level 1. It's questionable. They just want to secure their safe lane, I suppose. But at the same time, like, what is Wild Witch Doctor going to do? Most likely just Fury on off lane. If I'm thinking in Dignitas' position, like, why would you want you want your Naga to get farm?
Yeah, so
and you want your Juggernaut to get farm.
Yeah, your aggressive try doesn't really make a whole lot of sense here, and they're not going to do it. We see them already going about the bottom lane. So, best case scenario, they might catch the Nature's Prophet, but IX Mike is. He should be pretty.
He's just going to be sending trance around. Like why would Nature's Prophet be up there anyways? He would always send his trance there.
Right.
So this is just a questionable decision by them to start off the gate and
already wasting a smoke.
Yeah, Juggernaut. If he goes into offlane, he needs space to chase. Like that's what Juggernaut is. He just spins and kills in the lane.
Spin to win, man.
Spin to win. But you can't do that in the offlane. So yes, not a big fan.
Yeah, not the best way to get things started. Looks like Lion is having a connection issue here though, so hopefully. XCOM can reconnect pretty quickly. Interesting game 3. This has just been an interesting series across the board.
Yeah,
interesting hero choices.
First 2 games were just like completely lopsided.
Completely opposite. Yeah, first was just an utter demolition, 14-minute concede.
That was not even close.
And then game 2 was closer, but Wild Witch Doctors were on the back foot since like the 15-minute mark. And here in game 3, it's going to be interesting, but I agree. I give a pretty big edge to Wild Witch Doctors just based on draft alone in kind of a vacuum here.
Yeah.
And the nice thing about the Juggernaut in this kind of a scenario, I guess we could cut to the camera while this pause is
they have like no physical damage versus him.
Yeah, and just the nice thing is he's a nice mid-game carry. You know, he's going to have their early game, and Wild Nog is still trying to farm. Juggernaut's going to be able to run around if he catches someone with an Omni Slash. You've got your Blade Fury, so they have plenty of mid-game damage to deal with waiting for Naga to come online. It's just a well-rounded draft. They've got good push as well between the Juggernaut, who assists in pushing with the Healing Ward. They've got the Treant, so, I mean, they can push. I would say the Wild Witch Doctor's push is just about as strong as DNT's.
They have much stronger split push too.
Yeah.
But DNT has much stronger gank, I suppose, like with the Nyx Assassin, with the Storm Spirit, but
and a Slark, definitely more gank.
Their initiation is weak on Witch Doctors though. Like you either Omni Slash in, which is not going to be great because there's going to be no creep clear. Like Lion will be forced to like put himself in a pretty precarious position if he initiates first. To Nature's Prophet isn't going to initiate. I'm talking about 5-on-5s. Yeah. You can like maybe sleep into AEL. That's about it. But that's still like not the best way to start off a team fight.
Yeah. Well, we will resume here, and we can get into our final match.
So you think Wild Witch Doctor is going to win this based on draft?
Yes, I would. If I had rares, that's where I would put them for sure.
If I had mythicals, I would put them on them too.
If I had mythicals.
If I had genuines.
I'm not that big on the whole cosmetics trading thing.
It's too time consuming.
Yeah, I can't keep up with it. I have other things that I need my brain.
If I want something, I just like try and get it.
That's like Merlini 2014. If I want something, I just try and get it.
Yeah, I know. I'm not gonna like try and trade like 20 commons for one item that I want.
Oh,
that's just way too much effort. I'm just gonna.
Time,
time is money, friend.
Yeah, well, Merlini time, especially those Merlini hours, very valuable.
Well, Chilling Touch will be taken by level 1 on level 1 by Ancient Apparition. I don't actually know, like, if he Chilling Touches and then he Blade Furies and he attacks someone Wild Blade Furying, does that proc Chilling Touch damage? I am not sure. That is a difficult mechanics question.
I want to say yes, but I'm not sure as well because when he's spinning, he's immune to magic. So if
he procs orb effects. Like if you have an Orb of Venom or a Sage Nyasha or a Maelstrom, you can proc them while spinning, while attacking, and you'll hear the animation for the sound, but you won't actually do any physical damage. But I don't know about the chilling touch because it's kind of a weird buff.
Yeah.
I don't even know if it stays on with magic immunity, to be honest.
It might. Yeah, I was thinking might dispel. That was my best guess, but I don't know. That's a very specific mechanics question.
It might actually come into play though.
Yeah.
In this game.
It certainly could. So let's take a look at these lanes a little bit. We've got Team Wild Witch Doctors on our Radiant side. XCOM playing on the Lion down bottom. He'll be joined by Sna on the Juggernaut. And it will be a tri-lane, WWD himself on the Ancient Apparition. In the mid, Ush on the Naga Siren, Riptide level 1, just farming away against that Storm Spirit. And up top, it will be the off-lane Nature's Prophet, played by IX Mike. Now on the Dire side, Merlini, you want to go for it?
Sure. We have Team Dignotoss, also known as Team Zerg. We have stand-in Bloody Knight. He played pretty well last game on that puck. On the Pugna this game, Justin on the Storm Spirit. He was, in fact, the Spectre last game. We have Derp on the Nyx Assassin, Nayrok on the Visage, and 1 on the Slark. And Slark is not in a position to thrive in this game, man. His levels are going to come very, very slow. I don't think he's a good, recovery hero. He's not a good, sacrificial, hey, whatever, Slark, you can just fend for yourself. I think, a Timber Saw or something would have just been much better in that role.
Slark is not one of those heroes that I often say, oh, don't worry, you can recover in the mid-game.
No.
He needs that momentum. He needs
does.
early farm, maybe needs a kill or two. And we can't forget Justin also on the Storm Spirit, their other stand-in. So, Justin doing okay in the mid lane. He is sitting 9-3 against the 4-0 Naga, but he is getting harassed quite a bit. Naga with a Welling Blade sitting in the bank. We'll just bring it with his bottle. So Naga's
base damage is butt, by the way.
Yeah.
It's 52 with 2 branches, so she's sitting at 50 base damage.
Yeah, that is pretty low. Storm's is 58. His is actually not really that great either.
Yeah, but at least he has Remnant, which is very spammable. Riptide is almost double the mana. Actually, not level 1, but level 4 is 130 compared to compared to just 70. So,
Yeah, so Ush will just go back to farming here. This is pretty classic Naga stuff. Now, the great thing about this strategy on Radiant is he'll be able to utilize this camp right here. So anytime the lane gets too sticky, if it's pushed up, if it looks like a gank is incoming, he'll have this backup here that he can always turn to maintain his farm even when he's not in lane. IX Mike maybe in some trouble here. Nayrok is moving his way up. They will trade blows, but no support will be inbound.
Nayrok's trying to trade uphill. That's not a great trade.
Yeah,
but at the same time, they have tons of regen.
IX Mike moves down. Some support coming in. There's the decrep. And they won't be able to get there in time to make something happen. And, of course, while I'm looking at that, Naga Siren gets picked off by the Storm Spirit. Storm did have a double damage rune on, and that kind of explains the damage burst, but wow.
I mean, it's not like you can't see the double damage in his bottle, though. That should not happen.
Yeah. And Slark, he will get dove on. He pounces back. Now XCOM will run through the tower. No way that they can capitalize. So miss gank down bottom, but that is not the way Wild Witch Doctors want to start off this game. Keeping that Naga down is exactly what DNT are looking for.
Yep. She actually has a lot of CS, though. 13 CS. But yeah, that DD was just a little bit too much, it looked like. She doesn't have a Stout Shield either. Sometimes I like Stout Shield over Quelling Blade on her. I think, especially against range heroes, you need it.
Yeah, well, it seems Justin has been harassing her quite a bit. And it is just about the 4-minute mark here, and Rune Control will be a big deal for this mid lane. Naga needs the mana regen to continue spamming Riptide, and Storm, well, he always needs mana. So Rune will spawn down bottom. It's actually a haste, camped out by Derp on the Nyx Assassin right now. So it will presumably go the way of the Dire.
Wow, they have a ward down there, and he's not going to... I would stand on this high ground and kill it, so that Storm doesn't potentially get another kill. He's already, has that really good start. He's level 6 4 minutes in, and he got first blood. You don't want to give him any more advantage than he already has. And with his haste rune, he might even be able to pick up another kill.
Maybe. Naga will go straight in, uses a Riptide to start things off. Now XCOM joining the battle. He will pop the haste rune to make the escape. Derp comes in, looking for a stun. He does get hexed straight away. There's the Impale, catches both heroes, trying to buy Ush as much time as possible, but Ush is in big trouble. He will fall to the Storm Spirit. XCOM very low as well. They're going to pursue for Derp as now WWD and IX Mike have joined the fray. They secure the kill on the Nyx Assassin, and Storm will have an empty bottle. He's forced to retreat. 8 charges on the wand. He will eat him. But
it's a 4-hero rotation for a 1-for-1, and they still lost their Naga Siren. And it all comes back to that first blood too. He should not be this far ahead, and AA also shouldn't have denied that rune. But
yeah, so wow, not the best start for the Wild Witch Doctors. A small 750 gold lead for DNT even on the experience. Juggernaut's been able to pick up some farm now. Well, no, he's always been able to pick up farm. Slark's been able to pick up a little bit of farm now that the supports have left the lane. Sna will actually dive the tower, Blade Fury onto the creeps. And now support coming in. This Juggernaut needs to be a little bit careful. Storm zips forward. And there's an Omni Slash ready. They do a lot of return damage on Justin. Oh, great bait from Sna right there. I hadn't realized he was such a high level. He was just ready and waiting to pull the trigger.
That is exactly what they needed to stop the Storm's aggression, though. And yeah, I didn't think that Sna was level 6. Now he's level 7, and XCOM was just in the right place at the right time with that Lion. And that is what a good support does.
Yeah, very true. So a sign of life here for Wild Witch Doctors. Their Naga's been kept down, but they've got their Juggernaut, who now has slowed down that Storm's momentum a little bit and picked up some of his own, which is exactly what they need, some space creation.
And now he's denied the 6-minute rune 2 on Storm, so now he can't like extend some aggression for some time. Like he got the first kill with a rune, he got a second kill with the rune, and Storm is just incredibly rune dependent in mid. And if you can deny them in the runes, then he's a lot less effective as a hero, at least in the first 10 minutes of the game.
So let's see how the other lanes are doing. Up top, Pugna is basically in the 1 position here. 34
There's
and 14.
There's a smoke gank on bottom.
Oh.
He's going to have to be extremely quick with the spin. He actually doesn't have enough mana, but Lion might actually get caught out first and tank the gank for him.
Right, Lion will drain some mana. Sna does have phase boots, but it just doesn't matter right now. He doesn't even have a wand. Could be enough to try and keep him alive. The leash, oh my, a 3-man stun from the Lion. That will pull the Storm Spirit into the tower. He does zip forward, though he's now out of mana. Still has some charges on the bottle. Will get caught in an ensnare. Eats the wand charges. And this may be enough to finish off the Storm Spirit. Wrath of Nature flies. Does a fair bit of damage. Ush trying to pursue. IX Mike ports in. There's the Sprout. Oh, great teamwork from the Knicks. He cuts one of the trees. They want this Storm, but can they get it? Great path locking on the Naga. And they won't be able to finish off the kill. Now Slark joining the fray. Does connect with a pounce onto IX Mike. XCOM now the target of choice as Visage throws a nuke. The stun. And they secure the kill. Great plays from DNT. All the while, Pugna free farming up in the top lane as well. We can't forget about that.
Yeah, that was just, I mean, XCOM almost saved Sna there. He was just so close. If Juggernaut had a Magic Stick earlier, I think he would have lived, but he didn't have any charges saved up. If he could just turn around and spin, it would have been a very easy return kill on the Storm Spirit.
Yeah.
But they just didn't have enough damage.
It wouldn't have been bad if they had actually secured that kill on Storm after he dove the tower, but the fact that he survived with just a few hit points to spare, great news for DNT. Now we see the Robe of the Magi up on Storm. He'll be working towards a pretty quick Orchid. And they've secured an early lead of about 1,000 gold and experience as we pass the 8-minute mark. Illusion Rune down bottom, which Storm should be able to get. They don't have vision, but Naga has since moved into the jungle.
Yep, he knows that the rune is top, but Ush is in no position to get that rune. Actually, his bottle just came up, so maybe he can get... Oh, is he going to bottle Crow? I'm going to look at him.
Yep, looks like he will. Courier's following him.
Yep, he needs to secure runes though. Like Storm with runes is just he's probably the best hero with runes in mid.
Yeah. Well, he's just so mana dependent. Anything you can do to increase his mana sustainability is good news. Nyx Assassin very close to level 6. Derp derp. Just a couple of creep kills away, so that will be good news for DNT. He'll be able to be a bit more mobile and set up some more ganks. And this Pugna, we haven't seen much from him, but he's just been up top farming away, doing some work on this tower. It is getting
these two supports are in a lot of trouble. There's smoke behind with Storm and Visage.
And Storm zips forward, gets hexed straight away. Cold feet into the tower. He will get stunned right here. Justin? No, he won't actually get stunned. Now Witch Doctor and XCOM will both fall. That Nether blasted a lot.
Where's the TP support? Like Naga TP in and Counter Sleep, or Juggernaut TP in and Omni Slash, Furion TP in. Okay, there's the Furion TP, but that, I mean, they just got away with so much right behind the T1. Now they're going to lose the T1 tower as a result.
Yeah. Does get finished off by the Dire, but you're right. Naga was the only one that had a teleport. Juggernaut actually didn't have one, but
he needed one.
Ush just opting to keep farming, I guess, thinking he can't do much there. I don't know. This is quickly getting out of control, though. Now all of a sudden a 3,000 gold lead for our Dire side, and Naga is not really that close to the Radiance. I mean, 10 minutes in, only 1,300 in the bank.
Yeah, Storm is just out of control, though. 4-1-0 on him. He doesn't have that much CS, but he's by far the largest net worth leader, especially compared to Wild Witch Doctors.
Wow, look at that. Yeah, 4.5k. Furion's the highest on Wild Witch Doctors at only 3,000. That's a 50% edge. That's huge.
Yep.
Huge.
Lion has his Tranquils. They might go for a kill on bottom. He does not have level 6 yet.
And in comes IX Mike as well to pounce backwards. Can he get the Sprout? A long-range Sprout connects with the Slark. He won't have pounce for another 2 seconds, but support is inbound. He does have the ultimate. Pops it. Now Snog gets turned around. He gets dropped like he's hot. Now in comes Justin. He's going to zip forward. They want the Nature's Prophet. Now he switches to XCOM. Another nice impale. They did secure the Nature's Prophet kill, but that stun will be enough to ensure Lions' survival, at least for now. Oh, Slark, you slippery bandit. He's looking to pursue. The Tranquils will come up, so XCOM will have a movement speed edge. Can he connect with the pounce here? Playing some ring around the Rosie. And, whoa, he jukes the pounce.
Nice
well
juke.
played by XCOM.
Yeah, he actually should not have run over here, because once he runs up here, he lets Slark go into the fog, which means he's going to catch up to him. So if he just like ran straight, he would just outrun him. So it was nice, but he potentially put himself in a very sticky situation. The TP support from the team is just night and day difference. Like they dive a Slark, which is not even close to the T1. It's like 1.5 screens away. And all 4 of his teammates come. Actually, I'm not sure if Pugna was there, but at least 3 of his teammates come. And 2 people get dove over here, right next to the T1, and they don't even TP in. So Dignotoss has just been doing a much better job of helping their teammates out.
Yeah, furthering their golden experience lead. Now over 3,000 apiece. Tier 1 tower mid does fall, but it gets denied, so even furthering the advantage here that DNT have. It looks like Storm very close to that Orchid. He's got an Oblivion Staff and a Robe of the Magi with another 500 gold in the bank. He is very rich. 4-1 and 4. Once he gets that Orchid up, things are going to get a lot more difficult for Wild Witch Doctors.
Yep, tower beaten on this Pugna War, but Pugna has Mech and Arcane.
Wow, that tower does no damage to the ward. That's interesting.
Yeah, it counts it as a non-hero hit, so it takes like 12 hits.
Wow. Meanwhile, down bottom, Sna in some trouble. Does use the Blade Fury. Has an Omni Slash up in 15 seconds. And I don't know if that'll be enough, but this time the TPs come in. DNT will be repelled. A lot of low health heroes. There's the Naga Siren ulti. It catches the Visage. Derp is Vendetta nearby. They will secure the kill on Narok. Nothing he can do about it, but that was a 4-man rotation for just a kill on the Visage.
At least they're finally TPing in and helping people out, though. But at the same time, it was like almost at the end of the Blade Fury when they started coming in. Like with Dignotoss, they like TP as soon as someone gets engaged upon. They're like still a little bit slow to react.
And Naga getting close to the relic.
Mike gets caught out.
Oh, my mistake.
Storm is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
He's going to have his Orchid in probably 1 more minute.
But Naga, about 2.5k in the bank, so getting ever so close to that relic, but not really that close either. They've done a good job keeping Naga down thus far. And also the Juggernaut. I thought Juggernaut was going to be able to be much more aggressive here in this game, but unfortunately for him, they've done a good job keeping pressure on him. Right now, he is 1, 2, and 1. So they've only killed him once, but they've constantly been in this bottom lane, pushing him back and not giving him free farm. Now Slark will pounce on him. Leash connects. Forces out the Blade Fury.
Yeah, he doesn't even have drums yet.
Yeah.
And he had pretty much free farm on bottom. He is actually number 6 on net worth. He's behind the Slark.
Wow.
How did that happen?
The tower.
It's only one tower.
It's only one tower. It's not a big disparity. Slark's just had a lot of room. Since those supports left the bottom lane, Slark's been able to get last hits on par with the Juggernaut. So I think that's a large part of it.
Yep. I think, yeah, a lot of it still has to do with that first blood. Like, if he doesn't give a first blood, the supports don't have to rotate. Slark doesn't get farm either. But, like, it just set off this really bad chain of events for them.
And now this tier 1 tower mid in big trouble. They do force out the glyph. Another Nether Blast up here in 1 second. And that will be enough to secure that tower kill. Nyx Assassin in the trees does have a Vendetta available. Perhaps looking for an initiation. XCOM also level 6, so Finger of Death is online. And that's always scary. Slark bumps into the Juggernaut. If it was any other hero, it would have been a kill with that Omni Slash, but Slark has the ultimate available. And Juggernaut does not waste it. Now, XCOM bumps into Bloody 9. This could be bad for the Pugna. AA ult, they don't even need it. The Finger of Death enough to secure the kill. Now Derp comes in, uses the Vendetta, connects with the stun on only the AA. Now trying to make the great escape. Mana drain, in comes the Sprout. Derp is in big trouble. There's the Omni Slash, and they grab a double kill. But Storm now joining the battle. He finishes off the Ancient Apparition. Meanwhile, Sna going toe-to-toe with the Visage. And Storm now looking for Sna. Might be able to secure the kill here. The Familiar is doing some extra damage. Just look how much damage this Storm Spirit does. He's level bloody 13. Wow, that experience difference is just insane. Next highest level is Juggernaut at level 10.
Yeah, and he has his Orchid.
And he has his Orchid. Oh, by the way, Jeez.
But at the same time, us just closing in on that Radiance, and it will be a much different game come then. But at the same time, Pugna with his arcane mech, yeah, he died, but he's still going to be able to push down these towers as soon as he respawns. His T1 tower is right about to fall, so now the tower count is going to be a whopping 3-1, and Slark will have a Shadow Blade completed in just 200 gold. So all these items are kicking in now. Nyx Assassin not even close to his blink, but they had to worry about the Slark Invis, they had to worry about the Vendetta for the Nyx Assassin, and then they had to worry about the Pugna Storm Spirit. Ganks.
There's just such a disparity between these mid-game items here. Pugna had that mech up so early, and there's still no mech for Wild Witch Doctors. One on the way via the Ancient Apparition, but he is not even close.
I think
just the
Nature's Prophet goes for mech at this point.
Yep. And oh boy, I missed yet another solo kill on IX Mike from Storm. My apologies, folks, but it's just yeah, pretty bursty. I was looking at the Roshan here as DNT move into the pit, and I think they might be able to do it. They have a medallion up as well. Storm just completely shutting down any kind of rat Dota that IX Mike wants to try here.
Yep, they just really need to stop for the Radiance. Oh, it looks like just a Mega cut out here. There is no finger.
Oh. Witch Doctor, you're in some trouble. He'll fall. Now,
I don't know. Justin might die too. Or XCOM rather.
Yeah, XCOM's in trouble. He does have mana, but just has no cooldowns available. That's basically a triple kill for Storm by himself. Meanwhile, the rest of his teams are killing Roshan.
Yeah, you couldn't ask for more space creation.
Yeah, seriously. He literally just soloed 3 members of the opposition. That is... This is why you keep a Storm Spirit down. This is a great example of how Storm can just snowball out of control.
Yeah, they just...
I mean,
fed him way too many kills.
He's going to have a BKB in maybe 2 or 3 minutes here. He's got the Ogre Club and enough for the Mithril.
They even drafted a Lion to shut him down.
Yeah. Oh, man. I mean, Lion shuts him down with the crowd controls, but you still need the follow-up damage to finish him while he's CC'd. If you don't have the damage to kill him in that duration, then he just zips away.
Yeah. I mean, I think their plan was, okay, we'll Hex and Cold Feet and Pale, and then we'll do Chilling Touch damage to him while he's Cold Feeted, but AA just got jumped, and that's just the super early Orchid at play.
Yep. Hey, look at that net worth chart. Storm is still effectively doubling the leading farmers of the Radiant side, maybe not quite, but by a pretty large margin. IX Mike did go ahead and pick up the Shadow Amulet first, the first part of his Shadow Blade. An interesting choice, though I think he needs it. Maybe at least now forcing Storm to buy some detection items if he wants to grab a solo kill. But
yep.
Yeah.
Ush closing in on that Radiance, so that is a big thing that Wild Witch Doctor needs right now. 600 gold away, so he's already picked up his relic, and yeah, I mean he's just been farming away. At least he hasn't died. That's the one really good thing going for Witch Doctor, Wild Witch Doctor right now. So Stark has the Aegis now, and if Storm had that Aegis, whew. Yeah. Wait, what? He just TP. Oh, is it? What a bait!
Oh, okay, there we go. Now they'll finally end that monster kill streak. Lion uses the finger.
Man, he bit that way too hard.
Yeah. I mean, we kind of bid it at first, just like, IX Mike, what do you? Oh, okay, I see your plan. So a much-needed kill on that Storm Spirit. Unfortunately, it's a Lion that gets all the gold from it, and not the Naga or one of the other heroes that can maybe do a bit more with it. But at the same token, Lion could really use some recovery. So
there's the Radiance on Naga.
Put that gold to good use.
Just bought it.
Yeah, IX Mike also has his Shadow Blade up now. See a sentry coming down. So
I still can't believe he bit that. Like, is a Nation Prophet really going to TP onto a Storm alone?
Yeah, looking back, it was pretty bold.
It was funny. It was funny.
Yeah. So now that Naga has the Radiance up, is this lead that DNT have enough?
I don't know. It's in that area where you don't know.
Yeah. And, oh, Derp actually whiffs a stun onto Sna. No Omni Slash available, but does still have a Blade Fury. But yeah.
Wow, where's Sna's farm? He doesn't even have his drums yet. I said that like 6 minutes ago.
He just hasn't been farming. Yeah, he's only at 4.5k on the net worth.
Wow, look at this Sentry Ward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 Sentry Wards.
Wow.
In the opponent's jungle. 8.
They are ready to shut down this Naga Siren.
Who bought all these Sentry Wards? Oh my goodness. That is ridiculous. I've never seen this coming out before.
Well, maybe this is the way to deal with the Naga Radiance. Now that it's online, they know they need to do something, and
that's so funny.
I think you're right about this lead. It's right on the cusp where if they knock down, a few more of these tier 2 towers, force this Naga to fight, maybe they can still take it, but they haven't really done crippling damage. They've just done a fair amount of damage, and Storm actually takes a good bit. He takes a Wrath in Nature as well as a is it Chilling Blast? Ice Blast.
Ice Blast.
Jesus.
They need to earn.
No, oh, they don't have a single urn? No, they
I don't believe so.
No urn at all. Either side does.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Well, Radiance and the Furion split push will commence now.
Nature's Prophet takes out the top tier 1 tower. That does help level things out a little bit. Now DNT will take out this bottom tier 2 tower. Glyph available, but won't be used. And there's the Drum of Endurance on Juggernaut. There you go, buddy.
Oh, are they really pushing the T3 right now? I don't think they can. Not with Ice Blast. Not without Aegis on
they have
Storm Spirit.
They still have it up on Slark, though, so perhaps
not,
that's the
not without the
mindset.
BKB either. Like, this is just not a good time for it.
AA ult comes in, connects with Storm, Visage, and Slark. No, pardon me, not Slark, just the Visage and Storm. So they will be repelled. Courier actually almost gets picked there as well as he flies into battle. They did about half damage to the tower, so not bad. It's admirable. Unfortunately, though, they're just low on mana here. And Pugna won't have enough for another Q, and they will be forced back. All right, one more, but not bad, not bad. They do a little bit of damage. They did not force out the Glyph, however, which would have made that a true victory.
I think they should have just used Glyph to prevent damage on the T3. Like, it's very unlikely that they're going to push in the next 6 minutes. 5 minutes, rather, because firstly, the Aegis is going to expire. Secondly, the Radiance Naga, she'll have more items then, so she'll be able to just counter their push by just spamming out Riptide over and over again. And, yeah, I don't know why they're being so stingy about the Glyph. A lot of times it should be used as preventative measure, so you're not putting yourself in a bad situation later where your T3 tower is under a lot of fire. It's not necessarily to, like, hey, we're going to fight here.
Right, that's true. Aegis gets reclaimed here in just about a minute, so I don't think DNT will be able to do too much with that. BKB is now up on the Storm Spirit, though, so that is a big milestone following the Orchid. Gives Justin a little bit more flexibility. And the Radiance has already kicked in, and Ush has picked himself up some boots of travel.
Yep. Now, the question is, can they find the ganks? Derp should not be on the map right now. He should be farming the jungle or just sitting in the fog so that people are scared.
Uh-oh, Ush down bottom. Slark will find a solo initiation, but Ush is able to pour it out in time.
He's like, where are the creep camps?
They are slowing down his farm some. Whoa, meanwhile, up top, IX Mike will fall to the wrath of the Orchid as Storm Spirit picks him off.
He could have dropped the healing ore to save him.
And meanwhile, in the mid lane, DNT will pressure with the space created from Storm up top. And this tier 2 tower will take a lot of damage. AA ultimate will come in. Connects with quite a few of these heroes, actually all 4 of them. So a huge AA ult. Now they use the Glyph. And they will try to keep this tier 2 alive. One more Nether Blast. Not sure if it's going to be enough. They do have another ward down, so they can feel pretty safe fighting here. And there we go. A couple of auto attacks. And then they're able to finish off the tower. Naga Siren Illusions doing a fair bit of damage.
Yep, she needs Manta by the time they next push with the Aegis. That's the timing that she needs, and she just has to power farm it. Or Nyx and Slark and Storm have to keep her down. That's the biggest thing that should happen in the next 5 minutes.
I think this Nyx Assassin needs to get way more active. He's only 1, 2, and 4 here at the 23-minute mark. He hasn't been involved in that many kills, and he's not been very active about trying to set up ganks on the Naga or anyone else. And I think that's exactly what he needs to do. Maybe he wants to sit back and try and farm for that blink. He does have about 1,400 in the bank, but
no, he needs to stop their farm. That's far more important than getting his own farm.
I agree with you, my friend. Slark now has a shot, or well, he's had the Shadow Blade, but he's now got a Skull Basher up. So looking for some stun proxy. We'll find IX Mike. There's the dust straight away. Pounce does leash. And IX Mike, my friend, I'm sorry, but this is just not a good Rat Dota game. He's been picked off so many times now, 3, 5, and 3.
Now I think he needs a ghost, so he can just ghost in TV.
Yeah, he needs something if he wants to try this split pushing
ghost
strategy.
or mech.
Against Storm, Nyx, and Slark, it's an uphill battle regardless, unless you have vision on the entire opposition. AA ult comes in once again, connects with the Storm as well as the Visage. Now Pugna joining the battle. He's got his sights set on this last remaining tier 2 tower. And they will start to slow siege. No Glyph available. And it seems the Wild Witch Doctors will just let it fall.
Okay, but the real question is, can they push the T3s? And I still don't know. With the next Aegis, it's still going to be very, very questionable. Because they need a lot of sustain, and they have a lot of arcane boosts to do so. They have a mech, they have a Necro Book coming out on the Pugna, but I'm not sure if that's enough. Especially with AA being pretty spot on with its ultimates during each of these pushes.
Well, between blocking the camps and just how active they've been, IX Mike will pour it down as the Nyx Assassin does, but he doesn't have Vendetta up. How unfortunate. But they will get a little bit lucky here as Roche is on a short respawn timer. He'll be up in less than a minute here, about 45 seconds or so. And they should be able to grab it. It is lucky, though. If this was the long duration, every second faster that Roche spawns is time that they can be shutting down this Naga and not waiting for Roche. So,
Yep.
small stroke of luck in their favor. We'll see Storm Spirit get a little pick-me-up here as he finds some treants. But they're still doing well. Knocking down those towers. Naga has yet to take the #1 spot on the net worth chart. Storm is still ahead of her, which is good news. But we will see a smoke in the mid lane. Where are they going? Juggernaut does have that point booster, so looking for an Ag Scepter to buff up that Omni Slash a little bit.
Wow, this is a nice smoke from Wild Witch Doctor. It would catch Dignotoss by surprise, or at least they have to be passively so that they can't push, while Naga Siren is meanwhile farming the whole entire time.
But here's Roshan. AA ult comes in. That will obviously scout it out, catches the Pugna as well as the Storm Spirit. And they're going to commit to the Roshan. It looks like this could be a risky proposition.
With AAL already falling off, though, there's really not that much risk for them. So they just need to get towers. It's pretty much a given that Dignitas will get the next Roshan, unless, like, Wild Witch Doctor has all 3 lanes pushed out. But as it stands right now, they're still in far too weak a position to defend that. 10,000 gold lead for Dignitas. No Manta yet on Naga. She really needs a Manta, not only to make more images, but also to split out of the Orchid in case Storm Spirit decides to go for her.
Yeah, a multifaceted good item choice here. You know, do you think that the Naga illusions should maybe give a little bit of gold for when they get picked off? Would that put a dent in this this pesky strategy that we're seeing
Probably
here?
not.
Or is that just too far?
I don't think it's so. I don't really know what needs to be changed about Naga, but I mean, she does have to farm Radiance, which is not easy. Like you're asking to farm like a 50 gold item, which is, I mean, and she's pretty much useless with just a relic. So I mean, you do have to capitalize on it. So I think she'd be so weak if her images like were nerfed though.
I see what you're saying. Like the strategy that she's executing is scary if she can get it off, but to be able to do it requires a draft around. It already requires a pretty big investment.
Yes.
It's just once she gets the Radiance, there's like no risk. You just send the illusions in, and if they die, nobody cares because they're just illusions.
But what about PL too then?
Yeah, okay. But PL, yeah, okay.
And then what about like Lycan Wolves? He can just resummon his wolves when they're about to die. Or...
Yeah. But at least they do give a bounty if they do die, though. It forces them to use more mana. So, Lycan isn't the best, but PL is a good example, though. That one stopped me in my tracks.
Or Anti-Mage with Manta.
Anti-Mage with Manta. Yeah.
Same thing.
I'm just spitballing here, you know, just thinking that this build is
okay, here they go.
Powerful.
They're pushing Naga has a Manta right now, so that's like perfect timing for the Manta style too. She needs to be back to defend though, like right now.
Yep.
Because her images are still on cooldown for quite some time. They have the glyph to buy some time. They also have the sleep to buy some time. 10 seconds left on the mirror image cooldown. This is going to be important. If Dignotoss loses this, they're in a very bad position. Like if they get like 4-1 or something, like I would probably favor Witch Doctor.
Yeah. Now don't forget the Aegis is up on Storm Spirit, which is great news for DNT. There is a glyph available for Wild Witch Doctors as well. Glyph pops straight away after the first Nether Blast. AA ult comes in, will connect with the Storm, and that's it. So it doesn't do too much damage.
No, just one more blast. See, this is why you need a preventive measure on your tower, so that it doesn't fall 10 minutes later.
Yep.
So they should have used it. They used the glyph very poorly. They used it on the T2 with their last usage.
Yep. Nature's Prophet did finish off that top tier 2 tower before coming back. The Treants actually helped finish it off, trying to kill these illusions. Storm ends up taking a lot of damage in the fight.
Wow, you can't.
Slark getting very bold here.
You can't spin out of the leash? That's ridiculous.
So Storm hots forward. Now Derp comes in. There's the Song of the Siren from Ush. They're looking for the setup. Illusions come out, chopping away at the birds. Grabs one of them. Song of the Siren.
They need to get the racks.
Another blast. They're just trying to focus the barracks here. Pugna needs to stay alive. Mech gets used. The barracks taking a lot of damage. Now Storm uses the BKB. They finish off the melee racks. Range racks will fall shortly after. Now it's just about minimizing losses. All 5 still alive on the Dire side. How have the Radiant not secured a single kill yet? There we go. The Sprout's enough to secure the kill on the Nyx Assassin. But what a fight for DNT. They trade an Aegis in their Nyx for the bottom lane of racks.
That was a very, very good trade. And yeah, they just weren't prepared for it. I think that Ush could have came a lot earlier. I think he was waiting for his Manta, but he should have just bought his Manta his base TV home and then start sending images immediately. Like by the time he got there, the tower was at like 20% and the glyph was already used. So he needs to be there early before they get to the wave so that they either force to take the tower without the wave or just fight with amongst the many, many Radiance Naga illusions. So he did farm the Manta in time though. That was pretty important.
And
Well,
Shiva's while he's flying.
That's interesting. Build.
Interesting graphic.
Oh, Shiva's. A lot of Storm Spirit players say that Shiva's is terrible on him, but I think it's okay. It's mediocre.
It's okay, but I think Sheep is
Sheep
pretty
is
much
really good.
better across the board. I mean, why Shivas instead of Sheep in this scenario?
Armor.
Just for armor?
So he can actually just right-click people during BKB instead of worrying about getting right-click back. But at the same time, I mean, that's a very small boon compared to what a Sheep offers you.
Yeah, I mean, the mana regen on the Sheep is huge. But meanwhile, up top, Slark, he does find IX Mike, will pounce out, also connects with the leash. Oh, he gets a bash while Mike's trying to port out as well. Nature's Prophet will fall. A small stroke of luck going the way of the Slark, but well played nonetheless.
Yep, looks like another push is about to happen. Naga Siren does not have sleep cooldown, but she has to be there. Look, she's not there already. She has to be there right now.
And the ultimate coming up in just a couple seconds. IX Mike does have buyback available, but they'll catch Sna. The Orchid used to start things off. They grab a kill on the Juggernaut. This could be huge. Jug does have enough for a buyback as well. But
there's no glyph. This tower's going to be dead by the time Naga illusions get there.
Oh, no. Naga's just so far out of position. No TP in the inventory. And, oh, well, it has Boots of Travel. But they're on cooldown, rather, is the point I was trying to make. Tier 3 tower falls. Melee racks in big trouble. IX Mike won't buy back here. There's the Song of the Siren. Necronomicon units are also out already. And now Sna, he gets Orchided straight away. He was looking for an Omni Slash or a spin. He'll find neither. Now he's in trouble. Sna the first to fall. Ush completely out of mana. He gets dropped as well. This could be a GG push coming out here. They get completely wiped. Ush buys back, but the damage has been done. 2 lanes of racks down, even with a Naga Radiance. They are in some serious trouble here, Merlini. They'll rotate straight to the top, and they can do some damage. Like you said, no glyph available. Out comes the Sprout. IX Mike now in big trouble. He got stunned by the Carapace, and they will use a smoke to finish him off. Now Ush, the lone defender, he gets dropped like he's hot. IX Mike buys back, but what's a lone Nature's Prophet to do against 4 members of DNT? Maybe try and finish off the Storm Spirit, but he loses the right-click war, and DNT
GG.
seal the deal.
Wow. If I had to place blame on that game, it would be Naga. She made so many mistakes that game. Firstly, she gave first blood to Storm Spirit. That was really bad. Secondly, she wasn't. The big mistake was she wasn't there to defend the towers early enough, and the towers were dead by the time they could force a fight. And Naga should be really good about forcing bad fights from the opponent, but she was not able to do so. So she didn't get picked off, but that's probably the only thing that she did well that game.
Wow, what a series! So back and forth. After game 1. I don't think anyone would have predicted DNT coming back in that fashion. I mean, game 1, don't forget, they literally lost in less than 14 minutes.
The Pugna pick actually turned out to be really nice, too.
We were skeptical that they might not have enough push, but they were able to do it in the nick of time and just well executed. I think you're right, though. Naga really was. She had the Radiance at an okay timing, but just...
Pugna can't just walk. He shouldn't be able to walk up to your tower and blast. That should absolutely not happen. And he got 3 blasts before the illusions came out. So they were under a very precise window to defend the push. And she had the items. She had the Radiance. She had the Manta before the push on bottom, but she was not there to execute. And aside from that, there's a lot of minor stuff that went on. Nature's Prophet got picked off a lot. But
yeah, that was one of the other problems, and it wasn't really IX Mike's fault just as much as DNT drafted to deal with that Nature's Prophet. They had a Slark, they had the Nyx Assassin, and a Storm. All 3 of those heroes do very well against dealing with Rat Dota, especially if Storm gets that momentum. I mean,
Storm MVP though. He destroyed
14,
everybody.
2 and 5.
He had a sheep. Did he have a sheep? No, he had. I mean, the Shivas didn't matter, but he was just huge. He killed everybody. He killed Sna on bottom. He killed mid a couple of times. He killed
one engage where they went on him, and then he got it wasn't a triple kill, but 3 solo kills back to back, completely by himself.
They had 4 heroes on bottom, and he still escaped.
Yeah.
Too. And yeah, I mean, just way too many bad engagements.
Yeah, you can't give Storm first blood and expect to have a good time because he will just roll all over you, as we saw in that game. So that's it. Wild Witch Doctors, their run is done. That losers bracket round 3, they're out. They will not qualify for the American version of Starladder Season 9. And that means coming up tomorrow, we can take a look at the brackets here. The losers bracket. This is on the Starladder website. Google Translate doing a little bit of fail there. The losers bracket. It will be Osiris versus Team Dignotoss in the losers bracket finals. That's coming up tomorrow. The winner of that best of 3 will be the second team to secure their slot in the American portion of Starladder Season 9.
That should be a pretty good match. Dignotoss actually came out a lot stronger than I thought they would. They had the weakest opponent, so I wasn't able to accurately gauge their skill. But after today's series, it looks like they are indeed flexible. Although their stand-ins seemed much stronger than a couple of the other players that they were playing with. Like the Storm Spirit from this game compared to the first game, night and day.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know. Predictions going into tomorrow?
I say Osiris. I think that Dire's draft is like slightly weak, or their draft is weak, and I think the play is roughly equivalent. So I think their the slightly weaker draft would make me favor another team.
Yeah, and Osiris has been playing well. Just based on how the brackets are, Osiris coming down from the winner's bracket, they made it all the way to the finals before they were knocked down.
They almost beat Dog, too.
Yeah, and they almost beat Dog, so that sort of gives you some insight as to how powerful Osiris truly are. That match, our best of 3 tomorrow, is scheduled for 17 EST. That's 2 o'clock Pacific. But I'll say it again, it's subject to reschedule. Today's match started an hour late, and I know it was misposted on a couple of websites. So stay tuned to the social media, at Zyori TV, at Merlini Dona, at Beyond the Summit, and at Starladder_TV. I know I'll at least be tweeting tomorrow when I know exactly what the time is.
I'll be retweeting you.
And Merlini likes to retweet. So that wraps up our coverage today.
I don't know anything. I know as much as you guys.
Yeah.
So
mechanics guy. So, yeah, that wraps up our coverage today. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you for joining us here on the Starladder stream presented by Beyond the Summit. Take care.